how data is coming from different sources, right? We have seen the whole IT world into this, all the jobs, all the things that we do in particularly in IT. So this part, you can see this part, this monitor that I have created and this server, this is generally known as web development. We try to create website here we try to create Android apps, iOS apps, right? On backend servers we use multiple languages. It depends on which technology or platform is, right? And we have also discussed about multiple databases, NoSQL databases, how this data ingested on a single place. That place is known as data warehouse or might be data lake, and on that we apply some ETL jobs and try to again store the data after ETL, and then on that data we try to create some dashboard, we try to create some machine learning model on that, right? So that is what the process is, right? So I hope you have seen all these roles and decided what you want, right? If you don't want to be in data science, you can follow someone else and try to earn that. Suppose you want to be a Ruby developer or maybe a Java developer, then you can find a different course and try to earn that, right? So here we are going to discuss only data science, right? If you have any question in that, you can ask. Otherwise we will move to the other things, right? That I have planned for today. Please share the roadmap PDF. Which roadmap PDF? This one, right? Are you asking for this one? Yes. So Ajay, what I will do is first I need to complete this. I'm still thinking what I will add. Once it will complete, I will share with you. Don't worry. But ultimately, we are going to start with the Python. From tomorrow onwards, we will start this. Today, if you see this session plan, we will focus on introduction to data science or data analytics, right? We will see what kind of job roles we have, right? All those things we will see. Good. Any other question, or we can start? Right, data analytics or data science, right? The words are interchangeable, right? I can write here data science also, right? Both words are interchangeable. If you see, analytics is not a word in dictionary. In dictionary, if you see, the word is analysis, right? But that they made it analytics, right? So okay, let's I think start with this one. Slideshow from beginning. Okay, so screen is visible to everyone, I hope, right? Okay, so first of all, you have to understand this whole world, what is happening, how it is happening, right? First we understood the IT world, and now we are trying to understand this data science world, right? Before that, I want to give my introduction. Till now I have not given my introduction, right? So I'm Avinash Navlani, right? I have overall 12 years of experience in academics as well as in industry. In my initial days, I started my career with IIM Calcutta as a research assistant. Then I moved to academics. I started courses in data science like MTech Data Science, MBA Business Analytics, MSc Data Science at Devi University. And after that, I got opportunity in industry in 2017. And from that, I am working in. After that, I started working in industry. From last 7.5 years, I am working in industry, right? And I have also written a book on Python data analysis. I have my blog, which is Machine Learning Geek, right? And I have written a tutorial for Data Camp and Code Academy also, and I have been trainer on Upgrade Skill Academy. I am also visiting faculty at the same place, Devi University, and also at NMIMS, Narsi Muji, right? And yeah, so that is what my that is what about me, right? Let's move to the agenda of the session. So what we want to discuss in this session, what data analytics or data science, right, related jargons. If you see like NLP, Gen AI, prompt engineering, all those jargon we will try to understand, because if you want to make a career into this, you should understand all the jargons, understand what is reporting, what is analytics. Then we will see data science job roles like data scientist, data engineer, software engineer, data engineer. Why I'm also comparing with software engineering. Software engineering is a different thing, but still I'm comparing with this because you should know what is difference between both of them. We will see data scientist, data engineer, data analyst versus business analyst, and we will also see about NLP engineer, right? MLOps, right? So these are the roles which are in data science. Okay, I think we have already discussed these questions. I have shared you a form, right? A survey form. In that I got the idea, right? And I hope you know me well. Okay, and if you want, we can also do meetup offline also. We can do, right? But initially we want to finish this course, and after that we can do that, right? Okay, so why, the first question is why we need this data analytics, data science, whatever it is, right? So the reason behind is this: everything is online nowadays. Whether you suppose you want to apply for your passport, right? Then you have to apply online. Suppose you want to fill exam form, like a gate exam form, right? Okay, suppose you want to fill your GRE form, right? So any examination form, any citizen service, or maybe you are applying for some job, you are applying it online, right? So things are moving from offline pattern to online pattern, online process, right? So in that scenario, information is going to play an important role, because in online you are storing your information into a database, right? When this database size is increasing, you are moving this data to a data warehouse, right? A data warehouse, and on that you are doing your ETL, and you are trying to create some dashboard, and you are trying to create some machine learning application on it, right? Ultimately, in this century, information is oil, right? If you see AI can't do anything without data or information. So data and information is going to be oil, right? And analytics is a combustion engine, because analytics is using this information, right? So you should understand this, why we are moving here. The reason behind is simple: we have so much data, everything is online. You can just see how many calls every day we see on Airtel, or maybe on Geo are telecom service, right? Airtel and Geo. Similarly, if you see how many videos are uploaded on YouTube every minute, so many videos, right? So you need to understand this whole scenario, that the data is increasing day by day. So if data is increasing, in that particular case, you have to see how you can utilize it to make a competitive advantage for any business. Like for example, if Netflix want to engage the customers, they will create a recommender system to recommend you movie, right? Recommend you, sorry, recommend you movies, right? Okay, so lots of business required this. For example, Medium, if you read articles on Medium will recommend you articles, right? If they don't do this, they can't engage the user, right? So for user engagement, for customer engagement, they try to use machine learning to give them more personalized personalized recommendations, right? So that is why we need this whole data science field to work on that data, to work on that big data also, right? When this data warehouse size will increase, you need big data platforms like Spark, right? Like Hadoop, right? To process them. Okay, so that is why I'm saying we need this data science domain, just because data is increasing day by day. Everything is online nowadays. That is the reason. That's it, and nothing else, right? If we see data, okay, so data science and data analytics are overlapping definitions, right? So don't worry about that. I will also share you the data science definition after this. But first, I want to show you how many types of analytics is there. First, I want to explain you that, right? So ultimately, if you see, okay, let me explain you one more scenario. If you see in old days, if you see 50 years back, government do survey, right? Survey or census, right? In Hindi we say it Jangarna, right? So census and survey done by statistician, they collect the data, and then on the basis of that data, government will take the decision, right? Then things move towards the computer, right? Because in statistics also you can't do so much calculation using calculator, right? So things moved from statistics to data mining or data warehouse. Now when this data is also increased, then we came up with machine learning scenario, right? To creating some autonomous system, right? Using some machine learning intelligence. So things are moving, because as data is increasing, we can't do calculation by using calculator or by hand. We need some computing system which can store and process the data, which is computer. So that is why if you see data science or data analytics, it is a combination of statistics and computer science, right? That is the reason. Also, you can say, you can add a domain part. A domain means, suppose you are analyzing data of telecom company like Airtel, then your domain will be a telecom, right? Similarly, suppose you are working for Aramco is biggest company of Dubai, right? So each company has their domain. For example, you are working of United Health Group, so this is a health insurance company in US, right? So this is a health insurance domain. So with domain, the domain will change, right? So that is why if you see at experience level, at after 4 or 5 years of experience, company also ask for your domain experience, right? Suppose you are applying for Paytm, right? So Paytm will see whether you have experience in fintech or not, right? Similarly, I have applied for a company which is Commonwealth Bank of Australia, Commonwealth Bank of CWB, right? Commonwealth Bank of Australia. So they were asking me what kind of banking domain experience you have, right? Okay, so like for example Citibank, if you apply for Citibank at the position of 4 or 5 year experience, they will ask you, and they will try to have relevant experience, right? So domain is also important here, right? Now let's move to the data analytics. So ultimately, suppose you have data, right? Just like I have the data of your survey. Are you from which class, which university, what is your phone number, what is your city, and what is your knowledge into the data science? I have asked all these questions, right? So suppose you have collected some data, or maybe a data set, maybe you did a survey, or maybe you collected data from some secondary source like Kaggle. Kaggle is a you can say is a repo of data set, repository of data set, Those who don't know, Kaggle is a repository of data set. If you want to do some data analysis, you can get data from Kaggle, right? UCI is also there, University of California. I'm not able to recall the full form was it. You can check on internet, right? Okay, so whenever you have data set, you try to make some conclusions out of it. Conclusion means, for example, I'm doing sales, right? So I'm doing sales, I will see who my customers, what is their average age, what are their hobbies, what kind of job they are doing, in which city they live, right? So I try to understand my customer, and that is how I will draw some conclusion, and these conclusion will help me in decision making. Ultimately, all the AI, all the visualization that you are trying to do, all are helping you making decision, all are helping you making decision. That is why there is a company name, Mu Sigma, right? Mu Sigma. There's a company, Mu Sigma. They hire for decision analyst or a decision scientist, right? They don't hire for a data scientist position. They hire for decision scientist position, right? So ultimately, all those things are making a decision, right? This data-driven decisions are helpful to gain a competitive advantage. If you know your customer well, you will make effective decision at the end of the day, right? Examples are there like customer purchase pattern, right? Let me take highlight, right? So identifying fraudulent transactions, right? Fraudulent transaction, right? Inventory level, identifying the inventory level. I was working for one company which name is Walgreens. Walgreens is just like your Walmart, right? In India we have D-Mart, right? Okay, so in Walmart they want to see the inventory level and they want to forecast their sales and see how inventory will reduce in upcoming days, and as per that they will try to do the purchase of next order, right? So analyzing traffic patterns, right? Traffic patterns, for example, you can analyze traffic pattern in Indian Railways, right? Which is one of the biggest railways, right? You try to see their rail traffic and try to optimize its performance, right? If you can optimize this, their routing problem, so that if they reduce their operational time, right? If they reduce their time, they will save lot of money, right? So small changes will give a result. If you see organization wise, it is a big impact, not as a individual, right? If you are making a small change into system and it is reducing your cost by 5%. Suppose someone has $1 million expense, and if you reduce by 5% or 10%, right, so that will make impact, right? So that is why this data science is playing importance. Okay, so for example, in predictive maintenance in wind turbines, or maybe some energy plant, player performance in IPL or some league. In India we generally follow cricket, right? In IPL or maybe in cricket you want to analyze a player performance, then you can use this data analytics, right? So ultimately, analytics is the systematic computational analysis of data or statistics. Statistics mean data, right? So it is used for the discovery, interpretation and communication of meaningful patterns, right? So ultimately you try to make the decision. And the thing I was saying about machine learning models, models make automatic decisions, right? While when you create a dashboard, you will see some pattern onto that and try to make decisions as per the findings. Here decision will be made by a human, but here in ML, decision will be made by a machine learning model. Or if you talk about Gen AI, then in that case agents are there nowadays, right? So agents are nothing autonomous entities, right? Just give me one feedback. Am I audible? Everything is going well? If you have anything.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So there are so many types of analytics, right? First is descriptive, means you are just describing, right? For example, what is your average sales, right? uh, what is your monthly expense, right? Your profit. You are just describing whatever you have in your database, or maybe in your Excel sheet. A small vendor uses Excel sheet, right? And diagnostic analytics try to find why did it happen, what are the reasons for it, right? So here comes the role of analyst, right? The first part you are doing, it is reporting, just business reporting, right? And analyst analyze it and it identifies the reason behind it, why it is happening. Right. The predictive analytics means what likely to happen. It means you are trying to do forecast, right? You are trying to forecast in upcoming Champions Trophy of cricket, of ICC Champions Trophy, right? Who will win this? Who will win this? Right? Okay. Okay, who will win this? You are trying to identify this. So that will be a forecast. Similarly, we can also do the prescriptive analytics. For example, suppose you are a logistics company. So prescribing means some suggestions basically, right? Or maybe you can say recommendations. For example, suppose you are a logistics company. Suppose you made an order on Amazon, right? There is a company ecom express, right? Am I able to recall it? So whenever you put order on Amazon, ecom express do delivery at your home, right? Delivery at your home. Okay, at your home. So this ecom express try to find the optimum route to reach at your home. Not only at your home, there are maybe other deliveries in your area or maybe nearby. So they try to find a best route optimization, right? They try to find route optimization. So an algorithm can recommend them which route they should follow, right? Maybe one delivery is here, right? One delivery, one, this is third delivery, right? So basically we are optimizing the route, right? You are recommending the route, right? So those kind of things are prescriptive. Generally we use operation research here, OR, and here we will use ML or DL, machine learning or deep learning. Here in general we use our EDA, exploratory data analysis, like pandas, numpy, right? And diagnostic is basically root cause analysis, RCA, root cause analysis we generally do here, why it is happening, right? And we try to make some decision according to the data. So that is what difference in all three, right? Also nowadays predictive analytics also involve NLP side, right? Suppose right now your data into form of table, right? You have some data, your, for example, your transaction history, right? Suppose you have account in Axis Bank, and Axis Bank has your transaction history. As per your transaction history, they can forecast whether you are eligible for loan or not, loan eligibility, right? But this data is your tabular data. Okay, what if I want to identify the review of customer on Amazon, whether it is a positive review or negative review? Then this review is a text data, right? Then this review is a is a textual data. In that case we have to use the NLP, right? Maybe you are using some image data, right? Let me write here. If you are using image data, then it will be image analytics, right? So in the predictive also, it depends what kind of things are you using. For example, suppose, right, okay, for example, I am from Indore, right? So in Indore we are India's cleanest city, right? Suppose I have plastic bottles, like plastic bottle, and I have some iron material. I want to classify them via images. This is called waste classification, right? Waste classification of items. So this is a image analytics. Similarly, instead of image, if you have video, then you will do video analytics, right? So the basics are these, but it also depends what data you have, whether you have image data, video data, textual data, right? What data you have. Maybe you have geospatial data. Geospatial data. Lots of research organizations especially work on this, right? For example, yesterday I was giving you example of CSIR, right? CSIR has different units in agriculture, in science, right, in food. So in one of their unit, my friend was working. So they were working on some spatial data which they are collecting from ISRO satellite, right? On that they want to do some kind of visualization, or they want to create some tool, right? So in that case also, and you can also do this geospatial analysis in Python. In Python we have geopandas. In Python you have here panda. Similarly we have geopandas, and there's another library named Folium, right? Folium is used for geo visualization, right? Okay, so as you go into the Python, you will see lots of things are available, right? Okay, in prescriptive we also do simulation, right? Also do simulation. OR we use operation research and simulation, right? So these are the lots of area you can see, right? Let me move ahead. I'm going a bit slow, but now I will go a bit fast because I have explained you a lot. So descriptive analytics is nothing. You are just examining the historical data and trying to put it into the form of sales report, financial statements, or web analytics report like Google Analytics, right? Okay. Similarly, for descriptive analytics we use Excel, Power BI, Tableau. Maybe you can use your programming language R, Python. Also one more tool which is MATLAB. I have seen in some job requirement they ask for MATLAB for data scientist. So, and another tool is Octave. Octave and MATLAB both are same, but Octave is open source, right? So lots of lab in IITs, if you see, IIT, Indian Institute of Technology. So lots of IITs uses these tools. If you are interested in research, you can also consider these tools, because one of my friend got admission in IIT just because of MATLAB. In his MTech duration, he was good in MATLAB and he got admission into IITs just because of his MATLAB excellence, right? He got admission into the IIT just because of one tool. So if you are good at any tool, you can get the job, or maybe research opportunity, or maybe admission into PhD, right? He got admission into PhD, right? Great. Okay, so ultimate objective is to summarize the data, extract the useful information in terms of graphs, chart, and dashboard, right? So that is what we do in descriptive. Descriptive word means describing something, as simple as that, right? Diagnostic means we try to investigate the reason why it is happening, right? For example, recently Indian government reduced the tax, right? ITR, income tax, right? IT, income tax. They reduce it, okay, But why? You need to identify the reason behind this, how government will benefit from this, right? So, or right, maybe you are working in Geo. Geo is a telecom company, another company is Airtel. Suppose a customer is moving from Geo to Airtel, it is called churn. It is called churn analysis. When you do a churn, and in that case you want to identify the root cause, why this churn is happening, why one customer is shifting from Geo to Airtel, because you want to keep your customers. So churn analysis is especially introduced in telecom, but nowadays it is also used in bank, because some people transfer their loan from, for example, Axis Bank to SBI, right? And suppose you are using Paytm and you shifted to PhonePe, right? Okay, so this is also example of churn. Okay, drill down the analysis, do some correlation analysis, try to find a relationship between different data points and see why something is happening, why my sales is increasing, why my sales is decreasing, and other operational failures. You try to identify those things. This is what the diagnostic analytics, right? Predictive means forecast, as simple as that. You can see we are trying to do forecast what likely to happen. For example, whether a customer will churn or not, whether you are eligible for loan or not, whether in future you will have diabetes or not, right? Okay, a recommender system, recommending movies also comes into the predictive analytics. You can also use this into the into the prescriptive analytics. For certain cases we don't have a defined boundary, right? But you should understand the gist of it, right? Regression analysis we do time series analysis to forecast the sales of a company, right? For example, sales forecast. Suppose a DMart want to see how what is the sale of, for example, you can take any product, suppose chips, right? Lay's chips will sell in upcoming 5 weeks or upcoming 8 weeks, right? A similar kind of work I do in Walgreens, right? We try to forecast the sales. Or maybe you are doing in Walmart, right? Try to forecast the sales. Okay, like predicting customer behavior means predicting whether he or she is going to churn or not, right? Machine learning, yeah, machine learning has certain algorithm to do the forecast, right? For example, logistic regression, right? Linear regression, right? And the decision tree, support vector machine. We will see all these algorithms, right, in upcoming courses, right? Okay, the prescriptive means recommending something. In general, if you see supply chain optimization, what should be your inventory level, right? If you want to use some marketing mix models, so in general we use OR, right? Operation research, or maybe simulation, or maybe some decision analytics. Okay. Nowadays OR is in highly demand, right? I was reading one article, 25k OR specialists are needed in USA by 2030, only USA, right? And you don't believe, in India we have only 4-5 institutes those offer MSc or MTech in OR, right? DU is there, AMU, IIT Bombay, right? These three, and maybe one or two institute, right? Other institute. So only 4-5 institutes are approx in India, those who offer MSc in operation research, right? So there is highly shortage of this profile, right? Yeah, so you can try also this prescriptive analytics, right? So this is about analytics, or you can also say this is these are the field of data science or data analysis. These words are overlapping, right? Overlapping, or you can say somewhat related, and there's no point of finding difference between these. There is no point. At the end of the day, you should be skilled enough. You have to do client's work, right? There are other related field. I hope you have heard about data mining, right? Data mining is about discovering hidden patterns, right? So same thing you do in machine learning and data analytics or EDA, but here data mining has some of its own technique, like association rule mining. I hope some of you are aware of this association rule mining, right? So data mining has its certain own techniques that can be used in ML. If you see overall worldwide, the same data mining book written by Han and Camber is used in machine learning lectures. So data mining and machine learning are overlapping fields. Okay, again, data analysis is a process of examining data set, drawing conclusions, right? And analysis and analytics are the same word. Analysis and analytics are same word, right? Yeah, data science, nowadays data science, they are saying it is a big umbrella. Under this umbrella, everything comes, like data engineer, DE, data analysis, right? And other fields like NLP, everything comes under data science. So data science is a kind of a, you can say a big umbrella or a big domain, right? Now another question, interesting question is, physics person also uses mathematics. They can't call it number science, but we computer engineer or IT engineer, right? Engineer, we use statistics, and we are saying we are scientists, we are data scientists, right? So this make unhappy to statistician, you know. So ultimately they are saying, statisticians are saying, we are using linear regression, logistic regression from last 50 years, 40 years, but now you are selling all of these things on the name of data science, and you are saying you are scientist and we are not scientists, right? So there's a heated argument between a statistician and data scientists, right? Machine learning have their own algorithms, some of their own algorithm, and some of the algorithm from data mining. These algorithms try to learn from data. Machine learning try to learn from data. Whatever data you will give, on the basis of that they will make the decision. How they will make the decision, I will show you in upcoming courses when we will have the machine learning, right? When we use some natural language, means the language you speak, Hindi, Marathi, English, Gujarati, right? All these like French, German, all these languages are natural language. When a computer process these languages is known as NLP, right? That is what is happening in Gen AI. If you see big data analytics, when you have so much data, then you need some tools, specific tool to handle that data, like Spark and Hadoop, right? Gen AI is based on transformer, and they are basically based on ChatGPT models. They try to use large data set and try to give you output in sequence, right? It is not about yes and no. So this is a evolution of machine learning and NLP over the last 15-20 years, right? So Gen AI can generate text, generate images, generate music, even videos also, right? So nowadays we have a requirement of these experts. Gen AI has so many jobs, right? Okay, if you know Python and Gen AI, you can easily start working, but you should also know the basics of machine learning, right? LLM, Gen AI uses LLM are large language models which are trained on very high data set. To training these we need GPUs. You can't train on your laptop, right? This data is in GBs and PTs, right? Prompt engineering basically input. Prompt is basically an input. That input, which input you give to these LLM models, and this model will generate some text. I hope everyone has used ChatGPT for their college assignments. Nowadays every student is using, right? uh, Also for preparing for exams, right? So this is about other related fields, right? Let me move ahead. Reporting and analytics, I think I have explained you, right? Let me give you one example. Suppose how many customers visited our site and ever made a purchase. Suppose, let's say the number is 60%, right? 60%, let's say 60%, right? The people who visited your website, out of those 60% ever made a purchase. They have not purchased anything. That's great. But why did they not make a purchase? So this number is your reporting, 60%. Why they are not processing? This is analytics that you need to identify, right? Reading a static standard export is same as doing true data exploration. So this is data exploration, and analytics goes beyond what and where and explain why it is happening. Why analytics focus on why, right? That's what I was explaining in the starting also, right? So okay, this is no use, right? So these are the job roles. Okay, we are left with 15 minutes, right? Okay, no issues. You know data scientist, right? If you want to be a data scientist, now this is an important slide. If you have not focused till now, no problem, right? Just focus here. You will see the job roles and identify what you want to do, right? If you want to be a data scientist, you will do, basically you will do prediction and prescription, prescriptive analytics and predictive analytics. Prescriptive have job in OR. If you want to be do job in OR, then you can follow that path. If you don't, then if you want to be predictive, then you should learn ML, stats, deep learning, right? Of course Python programming, maybe R also. Some company also ask for R, and SQL. This is the basic you need. Sometimes you also need PySpark, because if you are using a large data set, right? And cloud is a common for almost all the job, because you are storing your data at cloud, maybe AWS, GCP, Azure. So you should be aware of this. If you are not, then no problem. You will learn it on your job, right? You can't learn everything in your course or in your academics, right? Data analyst is basically for data visualization. They create a dashboard either using Power BI or Tableau, and they also need SQL. Your interview round will happen on SQL. Sorry, your interview round will happen on SQL, right? Some people say SQL, I say it's SQL. So SQL, you need to be good at it if you want to be data analyst. Highly important, right? Data engineer generally work on ETL and big data. For this, the cloud is must. Now the answer of your question, now you will ask why. Nowadays I am seeing they are asking data engineer like AWS data engineer. I got one interview call. They want a guy who is AWS data engineer. They want an AWS data engineer. Someone want Azure data engineer, because their platform is on Azure cloud, right? So if you are good at one cloud and you know its services, then you can easily, this is the most shortcut way to get the job. First shortcut way is this, data analyst. Second shortcut way, don't put much brain, just learn SQL, basics of Python, and try to be good at one cloud, any one cloud, AWS, Azure. AWS and Azure has more demand compared to others, but I also get I have also got some calls from for the GCP also. As I told you few days back, I got a call from a company regarding GCP, right? So you have to be good at any of the cloud, and SQL, Python, you can easily start the job. There is no problem. Now some company may also ask you about Spark, especially PySpark, and some may say you we need a Spark expert, but we need with Scala, right? So if you know PySpark, then you can easily write code in Scala also. The syntactical approach is same. Syntactic approach is same. You just need to think in your logical way, right? So in general, this is what the requirement is, right? Nowadays, apart from this, for this, you have also seen some other um, requirement, right? Like for example, you have also seen some people asking for Kafka and Airflow, right? So as a fresher, you can't learn everything, but you can be good at few things. That is why I told you the shortcut is maybe AWS data engineer or Azure data engineer. You can start your job and you can learn remaining things on the job, right? So that is what you can try if you want to be data engineer. For NLP engineer, earlier it was you should be good at text analytics like Python, ML and DL, right? You should be good at, and also some NLP concept. But nowadays they are asking for Gen AI. In Gen AI they are asking for LLMs, right? In LLMs also they are asking for Llama, LangChain, right? Yesterday I also explained you, right? LangChain and what else? Hugging Face, right? And OpenAI models, right? Okay, so if you want to be this path, then you can go for this. CV means computer vision. 10 out of 1 job is for computer vision, right? So if you see here, computer vision like image analytics, video analytics and OCR. Lots of company do OCR on PDF documents. Like I was working one of the health insurance company. They do OCR on PDF documents, right? For this again, you let me change the color so that I can you can understand. So basic skill is Python. Then you have to know the OpenCV. Then you have to know maybe the TensorFlow or PyTorch and also deep learning, right? TensorFlow, PyTorch, or maybe some people uses Keras also, right? So if you are good at any two, it's enough. And DL, OpenCV and Python. This is also a good job profile. And also if you are doing, if you want to do PhD, right? So there's a good scope in image analytics, right? That you can do, right? If you see, especially into the agriculture field, they are using drone IoT. They are taking the image data and they are doing some kind of analysis on that, right? Another job profile is ML engineer or maybe MLOps. The MLOps guy do machine learning model deployment. Everyone can create the model. Creating model is very easy task, but deploying into the production application, then you need some kind of ML engineer, right? Again, they will ask you the Docker, Kubernetes. Let me write here, right? Docker, Kubernetes, ML flow, right? Or maybe some cloud, right? Prompt engineering, how you will write the prompt to train your model or maybe try to extract the exact information that you want, right? So prompt engineering also has nowadays a good requirement, and you can try to do few courses on it and see how you can move it from here. And one traditional requirement is statistician. Again, there is a huge shortage of a statistician in the market, especially in India, because if you see, I am in Madhya Pradesh, right? MP India, right? In MP we have only 4-5 colleges those offer MSc statistics. Holkar Science College, Devi Ahalya University, Central University, Hari Singh Gaur Central University, Sagar and Vikram University. Only 4-5, and also one college in Mandsaur. So 4 or 5 colleges are there who offer statistics, MSc statistics. So again, if you see, input is very less, number of input candidate are very less, right? And again, there is an issue. A statistician nowadays, people expecting a statistician should know the programming, right? Because they are using R programming and Python programming. And scope you have for market research, biostatistics. Biostatistics means clinical trials, quantitative analyst in a stock market, right? Stock analysis or stock market, right? And actually insurance risk analysis. In insurance sector, you do risk analysis, right? Survival analysis. That also have a good scope, right? Epidemiologist, right? These are generally government jobs, right, that require these kind of profile, but otherwise you can try for these profile. Of course, you should be good at statistics, especially hypothesis testing, and one tool like SPSS. Most of the biostatisticians generally use SPSS or maybe a Minitab, right? Actual science I'm not aware much, you can check it on. Yeah, I'm not aware of actuarial science, but yeah, you can check this. Yeah, so these are the job roles. I hope I have given you good overview of all the things. uh, yeah, I have given you some good overview of these job roles. Any doubt? And I think you should take a snapshot of this one, right? Let me take from my side. You should take a snapshot, because, and now after that you can do your own research. Suppose you want to be a data engineer, you can try to see what other things you need. Start with the basics and then you can move ahead, right? So every job boils down to certain skills, right? Certain skills means like Python, ML, DL, right? Then SQL. These 4 or 5 skills are important. That is what I am saying, right? Okay, and also if you want to work on big data, then you should know Spark also. So I'm writing here PySpark, right? PySpark is not difficult, right? PySpark just like a pandas numpy operations, but it will be on big data. So these are 4 or 5 skills. Those are common to each job. So that is why I'm starting with Python, stats, ML, and DL. If you know all these 3 or 4 things, then you can easily transition in any role, right? Yeah, so that is from my side. Yeah, so of course data science is an interdisciplinary field, right? So interdisciplinary means, as I told you, it is combination of computer, statistics, and domain. Computer, stats, and your domain knowledge, right? That is why we say them. Okay, so a data scientist is a person who is good at statistics compared to software engineer, and he is also good at software engineering compared to a statistician. Means he should be good at statistics plus software engineering. It means programming, right? But nowadays they also want that input data validation, data deployment, model retraining. Sorry, spelling is mistake here. Model registration, right? So model registration, right? Model registration. Okay, model registration, re-registration, right? Why they want this? This is all the MLOps kind of work, right? This is all the ML engineering, right? MLOps or ML engineering, right? Of course, and this is one more important thing, right? You can see execution and exploration. Suppose you are a manager, then you do more execution, right? Suppose you are a scientist, you are a pure scientist, then you will do more exploration compared to execution, right? So all the jobs in the world moves on this axis. If you see data scientists initially they do exploration. Suppose they are developing some algorithm, initially they do exploration, but when they finalize their algorithm, they implement it and they try to execute it, then they will do more execution. So for data scientists, it is combination of exploration and execution. So they might start from exploration, they go to execution. It depends in which phase of project you are joining also, right? Of course, I think I've explained you a lot. I don't have much time to explain these things, but yeah, software engineering, they try to create software applications, website, maybe mobile apps, website. And here data engineer trying to create data pipelines. They try to create data pipelines, collect, store and process large amount of data. That is what the difference is. Okay, I already discussed about skill set, data engineer, data analyst, right? NLP engineer, right? We already discussed, right? So you can see data engineer arranges the data from multiple sources, right? After arranging the data scientists create machine learning model on that. Then ML engineer do a deployment of it on application and it monitors the performance. So without data engineer, data scientist and data analyst will not exist. Also data analyst should be here. Sorry, data analyst, which will do a reporting and try to create a dashboard, right? So data engineer will arrange the data, and as you know, most of the time we spend in data pre-processing. So that is why from last 1 or 2 years I am seeing more jobs here. So I would recommend you, if you want to be a good career into data science world, data engineering is a good option with very less competition and more opportunities. Of course, sometimes data engineer also work on weekends. That is issue. That is what I have seen. Some people shifted from data engineering to data science, but data engineer to data science. And some people also shifted from data science to data engineer, right? So it depends on personal priorities, how you want to do it. But data engineering has more jobs compared to data scientist, data analyst or ML engineer. So you can start your career thinking from here, because if you have 6 to 8 months, you can try to explore this path, right? Business analyst, right? Business analyst, there are 3 types of business analysts: 1, 2 and 3. First one is an IT company, those who maintain the project flow, like, so they are basically agile, they work on agile, right? They do scrum masters kind of person, right? BA with who works with data, like Power BI, they are similar to the data analyst, right? Another one is BA is in stock market, stock broking firm, or maybe in consulting firm, right? So whenever you hear about business analyst, just try to understand what his role. Business analysts are of so many types, right? These are the 3 types that I have seen. Apart from this, there may be more types you can explore in the industry, but you have to understand which one it is. Okay, so yeah, so this is finally the process that you see from file, data sources, ERP, NoSQL. We collect the data, we do data pre-processing. This is ETL, this is done by data engineer, and then we create a dashboard kind of thing. So this is a data analyst guy that do, and model development, testing, deployment into app, for example Paytm loan approval model. For this, generally we have data scientist and ML engineer, data scientist and ML engineer, or maybe MLOps guy, maybe MLOps guy, because ML engineer do the MLOps part. MLOps just like the DevOps, but you are here deploying the machine learning model instead of application, right? So this is data engineer, right?